it's Jen, and here is another issue of Single Princess Problems, my weekly YouTube series where I talk about how trying to find a decent prince in the modern dating market can be difficult and also completely hilarious. Today, we're going to have another dating story of the surfer dude. So, I live in Southern California. There are surfers everywhere. I am not a surfer. I'm actually very scared of the ocean. So when a surfer dude approached me online dating on OkCupid, I was a little hesitant. Not my normal type, but I figured I'd branch out and give it a try. Granted, there were a lot of pluses to a surfer dude as well. They have very nice bodies. That's definitely a plus. So I figured I'd try. After some conversations, we decided to set up a first date. I'm about 20 minutes away from when we're supposed to have our date, and I text him to check in with him because we had agreed upon that ahead of time. And I don't hear from him. About 15 minutes after our date's supposed to start, I'm still texting to check in, and I still don't hear from him. So I don't show up to the place because I never had a final confirmation. 2 days later, he texts me and tells me that he lost his phone. And that's why I didn't hear from him. That he desperately wanted another chance. So I give him another chance. I shouldn't have, but I did. So then I drive all the way down to where he is. I park my car. We decide we're going to meet at 6:30. I text him at 6:29 and tell him I'm standing there in the exact spot he told me to meet him at. Don't hear from him. 10 minutes go by. Still don't hear from him. So then he finally texts me about 15 minutes later and tells me that I need to walk a few blocks to meet him in this other location. I agree, I walk to this other location. I stand there for probably another 10 minutes and wait. And finally, he comes strolling up in no shirt, board shorts, no shoes, and a surfboard. And tells me that the waves are just so good, he's got to catch a few first. And asks if it's okay if I will sit down in the sand. Now this is a first date, and I'm in a nice dress. Not super nice, but I'm in a dress. But he asked me to sit down in the sand and watch him surf. Again, at this point, I probably should have left. But I'm thinking, well, this might turn into a hilarious story. So I'm sitting in the sand. He goes off to surf. Does not catch a single wave. The entire time I'm texting my girlfriends like, dude, you're never going to believe what's happening right now. And they keep texting me back being like, just walk away. Just leave, just leave, just leave. And I'm like, no. We're going to figure this out. We're going to ride this out. So he comes back in, dripping wet. Is like, oh yeah, sorry, there weren't any good waves. I'm like, yeah, no kidding, okay. And he's like, let's go, and starts walking. Proceeds to tell me that he didn't realize I had gray hair. And that I said, I'm sorry, I haven't gotten to a hairstylist in a while. I just thought it was a really weird question or response to be telling me. And then tells me he needs to go home and rinse off and shower and change real fast. But told me to go to a bar by myself and sit there and wait for him to show back up.
And you did all this?
I did all this. I gave him a little bit of a quizzical look, and he said, don't worry. I won't bail on you. I'm not going to leave you hanging at a bar. I live around the corner. I'm going to shower, change. I'll be right back. Order a drink, order some food. I'll be there. I'm starving at this point because I thought we were going on a date an hour ago. All I want to do is eat. So I go to this bar by myself. I get a drink. I get some chips. I'm hanging out. He proceeds to text me, why don't you just come over here? This is not my game. So I text him back. I said, I just got a beer. I got chips. You told me to come here. This is what I'm doing. And he proceeds to try to convince me that I should stop what I'm doing and go to his house and hang out with him there. So, needless to say, date was over. I politely decline. I finish my drink and chips by myself and decide to walk back to my car that is now blocks and blocks away by myself. And when I get to my car, proceed to text him and be like, what is this? Like, do you do this to everybody? Is this how you treat people? Because this is totally not okay. Don't hear from him. Then, 2 months later, randomly I get a text message, still single? ? It's from him. And the only response I could think to send back was a picture of me going, I didn't, 'cause I'm a lady. As always, please make sure that you're liking, commenting, subscribing below. The more love, the better. So thank you.